Power 92. We are #1 in the streets.
Power 92, #1 in the streets. Your boy Hot Rod, the Lit Pit in full effect, man. It's going down. Special guest in the building, a legend, a GOAT. Super happy about this interview, man. Fab, what's going on?
Oh, man, I just had to stop through, man. You know, got a new project coming, Black Friday, Summertime Shootout 3. So I said, yo, one of the places that I gotta come to that's always supporting me is Shy and Power 92. So I had to stop by. Got my brother Josh K here with me, you know what I'm saying? He in the building, you know what I mean? Chicago representative. So, you know what I mean? We just making the rounds, man, and stop through.
And definitely shout out Josh K. He been rocking with you for a minute and definitely been on a couple of projects and songs with you. So I love how you gravitate to Chicago artists and definitely, you know, have Chicago artists. You work with a lot of Chicago artists.
Yeah, for sure. For everybody from Josh to Jeremiah. The new project got Dirk on there. You know, we just trying to, and even the inspiration behind the Bombs joint, the Back on My Bull was, you know, I was a big fan of the Bulls in the whole '90s era too. So, you know, I came back to that too. It's always been, even coming here, you know, throughout the years, it's always been love every time I came. So, you know, I definitely have a big love for Chicago. You know?
Super dope. And speaking of Chicago, you already know Gherbo.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely want to ask this, you know, as a father and everything. Like, what was that first reaction? What was that?
Really, first I was just sitting back and peeping it out. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't want to be, you know, I ain't want to make no expectations or like, you know, try to like really snoop around or whatever. It was just more like seeing what us, you know, that's my daughter. So it's like, you know, you have a daughter, you want to make sure that she in the right space, and that's with anybody. So, you know, I seen what type of guy he was. I see how he represented himself. I seen his team that was around him. You know what I mean? I seen the way he treated her. I seen the way she was happy. I see the way she spoke of him. And sometimes, too, a girl could speak of somebody, and then when you meet them, they're a different way. So when she spoke of him. When you met him, he matched exactly what she was saying about him. So I knew he was a good dude overall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely a good dude. That's the homie. That's the bro. Any advice? Have you given him any advice? You know, being in the game so long, and he's fairly new artist.
Actually, we was just recently. He just left New York, and he came by my studio for the first time. So we was in there vibing and just really just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like bouncing stuff off him. You know, sometimes, you know, a conversation between two people from even different generations or different cities, y'all could just bounce game off each other too. So it wasn't really like me just schooling him on some OG shit, but just like on some, you know, kicking it with him and seeing where his head was at and him seeing where mine is at. You know what I mean? I
could definitely hear him on a soul tape with you.
Oh man, Herb, man, I was throwing it in his ear. I was like, yo, man, I think, you know, eventually I'm going to do like a Bombs remix, and I want to get all the Shy guys on there. And he was like, hey, he's like, yo, that's,
man, we got it. Come on,
what crazy.
We waiting on this?
Who would your top three would you say on there? Who would you?
Bombs?
Yeah.
Who you asking me, interviewing me? You about to get.
I just want to know the room, like, you know what I mean? What?
All right, we go around. Yeah, we go. I'm gonna let them start. These my little brothers, man.
You gotta throw Bump J on there.
Bump.
You gotta throw him on there. I think that'll be hard. Man, I would say I could, just because I want to see something different, I would say Chance. I want to hear a different sound. I think that'll be hard. I think that'll give a lot of flavor to, especially to that beat. Like that's a cold sample.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
That shit almost like a wrestling intro. Yeah. Like, you know, like you coming out there, like you want to get out the shower to that. Like you want to be like, so it's definitely.
That was part of his wedding, though. That was crazy. That was part of his wedding.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, if I had to pick, man, I got to go with Saba, man. You know, you cold with the pen. So we need somebody from the shot that's cold with the pen, new generation. Saba, easy. Tell you, he'll murder that beat.
Word.
Facts. And I would probably say I would definitely go with Gherbo. Honestly, I would love to see Bibby out of retirement. I would love to see Bibby out of retirement. And then, like you said, I would definitely say Chance. And if you do a female, you know, Dreezy or Tink.
Oh, yeah. Dreezy will hop all over that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to tell Dreezy, like, I was catching her stuff, like, in bits and pieces, but every time I caught it, she was just like, it's like somebody you don't hear every day, but every time you catch them, it's like, oh, she went crazy on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
he goes crazy.
That's where our relationship just started. Me just like hitting her up saying, yo, you could keep doing your thing. Like, you know what I mean? You going crazy out here. You know what I mean?
That's super dope, man. And speaking of top, you said top 10. I mean, your top list or who we pick. Who is Fab's top? Like being in the game.
Top, man. I mean, I guess the top always starts to me with me being so New York and so Brooklyn is like Big and Jay. From there, I would have to go Pac. I always like Pac's energy, his passion,
Storytelling.
his storytelling, his just even his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think, I think people know, Pac still, but Pac work ethic in making music was extreme, and for him to be able to make consistent records and music that touch people in that way, and you making so much music is something that's underestimated. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who make a lot of music, but everything don't hit, everything don't connect, everything ain't touching you. You know what I'm saying? So so I would guess, definitely I think Nas was an ill storyteller as well. He's in my top MCs. I even give, me, I'm a wordsmith, so I even tip my hat all the time to Eminem, because Eminem is a guy, even if you ain't lived his lifestyle, you gotta respect his wordplay and how he is able to bend words and stuff like that. But it's so many, man. Like it's so many guys like over the years that, have done their thing, man. From every generation, from Weezy being, it was the time we just was talking. I was talking to T Grizzly, man, and he was talking about Weezy, and he's like, "Yo, man, you was one of the guys that was giving Weezy a run for his money at a time where Weezy was untouchable." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
That's
So
super fact.
it's guys that, Drake is another talent, and who I think kind of like
we need your
shaped
list
his
to trend.
name. Like, you know what I mean? That list that it was like a top 50 list that was flowing around, right? But like the thing with 50 is that a top 50 is that it can't be in an order the whole 50. Like you might start at the first beginning and who your top 5 to 10 is, but after that it's kind of like, all right, who do I respectfully put in this 50, because it's too hard to get it in an order. Yeah, you just naming after that. So, even like with me, when I see myself, and I respect it, whether I'm at 37 or 23, because I know, you know what I mean? And it's each to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like your list might be different from his list. You know what I mean? His list might be different from his list, because it's your impact and how you digest music, what was dope to you, whose styles was dope to you. You know what I'm saying? So I never like hang on the numbers. You know what I'm saying? I feel the respect from even just being put in that top 50. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. I'm glad you said that about lists, because I know that's the generation right now. Everybody got to make a list.
And it started a lot of, talk, because everybody got they way they would make their list. You know what I'm saying? So I get the, the barbershop talk of it, that you be like, nah, man, he ain't number 10, you crazy, he ain't number 3, you stupid. Like, I get that part of it, but at the same time, it's just like, everybody got their own, they will make their list how they make it. You know what I mean? You got to respect people's list.
True. Pass it over to my brother Mike Jones. What's up?
Man, coming off that question, I gotta ask you, man. You've matched pens with all of the greats, man. Joe Budden, Jadakiss, you name it. You done been on tracks with them, Pusha T, everybody. Who is somebody that you've yet to sharpen your pen against? That you like, soon as I get a chance, man, I'm heating this booth up.
Man, it's only really like 2. I think it's Nas and Eminem. I'm like the only 2 that like I would put in that.
Okay.
The swordsman that you wanna, actually wanna. Everybody else I've basically been on a song or sparred with, or you know what I mean, and even sometimes it ain't. You do different songs in different pockets. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's y'all going
bar for bar.
Yeah, bar for bar, and sometimes like we trying to make a dope song collectively. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ain't about me going at your throat. We trying to make a dope song. You know what I'm saying? So it's both ways. I love making music both ways with different artists. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Q.
You've been in the game for 2 decades strong. So you've been able to remain like relevant. That's hard, especially like in hip hop now. But you got 2 styles. You got that one style where you get gritty like Bombs, and then you got that other style where you will hop on it. You got Jeremiah, you got The Dream, you got Neo on the track.
Yep.
Which one you enjoy like more when you in the booth?
I would definitely say the gritty mixtape side. That's where I came from. You know what I'm saying? I think the other side of me became from me knowing the business, how you got to be able to, especially in that time when I was coming in, you had to be able to make a radio record.
Right.
It's not as traditional now where you got to like make a confined radio record with a singing hook and you know what I mean? But at that time, that's how I came in. So that's how I learned that. I learned that it's like, all right, I'm going to do this mixtape thing and Clue. I'm going to be on all over Clues and the streets going to love me, but that don't translate over to the radio where they want to hear, you know what I mean? And
Right.
you know, you just gotta do what's comfortable to you too, what works with you for you too. You know what I mean? I think remember when the Ja Rule 50 thing was going on, people was like, well, 50 is singing too, you know what I'm saying? But he was doing his melodic
Right.
thing in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Ja was doing it in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you said, in that time they had to be melodic just to get on radio. You know what I'm saying? Where now, you know what I mean, it's different. You know, the internet of course changed things and even just music itself changes over time. But like in that time, you had to figure a way to get your, you know, music played on the radio, and that's how I learned to be both ways. But I come from a mixtape route, like, you know what I mean? I love just going in
And do you
giving
feel
them bars.
like, I know you tapping in on radio, and you know a lot of artists they don't come to radio. Like, do you feel like
We just was talking about that. And even like for myself, for like even like older artists too, because they feel like they've done it or they ain't going around or they up and they rich and they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's different reasons everybody does it or not do it. But I felt like, you know, one for me, it's a way to keep the relationships going, and that's one of the things in music that's more key than you being hot, than you being who you are, because your relationships is going to live longer than you just being hot. You could be cold next year, but if your relationship is strong with your radio, with your station, with your PDs, with your DJs in your city, they gonna still fuck with you. They gonna still keep you rocking, and that's where I come around. So even here, like coming back to '92, I haven't been here for a while. We just told you. See, my man Fendi said this used to be a barn or something like that. This how long we've been circling around, you know what I'm saying? I told him the same, like, well, I came here, it was somebody from the other side working here, like, it's completely, you know what I mean? So that's how much things change, you know what I'm saying? And we was just talking about that. And it's even a good example for the young MCs coming up, because they could look at it and say, like, oh, well, if he doing it, you know what I mean, it must be a reason, because a lot of them start being like, you know, they internet guys, you know what I'm saying? They famous and making money off the internet, so they don't even think this is something that they need to do. But at the same time, it is, you know what I'm saying? It's building a relationship with your people who support your music and the people who listen to your music. So
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that, because there's a lot of Chicago artists out here.
They don't come through.
Man, and you know, I hate to say it's a lot of them, you know, you try to, you know, we try to help everybody, especially on my position at my show. I make 2 years on this show, December 18th, but just like changing the game and getting people heard on the radio. Josh K is one, like definitely helped him a lot. But you know, just want these artists to come in, and I'm glad OG like you coming in.
Josh a real one. He pulling up. He just pulling up with Fab, like, we just coming through, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the homie, man. The concept of summer shootouts.
Yeah.
This the series. This the last one.
Yup.
First off, why is this the last one?
I like to do these tapes in like a trilogy, man. Like I used to watch movies, and the trilogy movies was the dope movies. And I don't want your projects to end up like it's Saw 8 or Saw 9. You know what I mean? Like after a while it gets, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Fast and the Furious. Now, not to say nothing about Fast, because I actually do like Fast and the Furious. But you know what I mean? Like you got the plot before you even see the movie. You know what it is. You know what characters is. You know the same layout. So I like to give it 3 and then move on and switch to another situation. Same thing I did with like Soul Tapes, and you know it was 3 of those, and then I went to the Shootout.
Wait. So there's no more Soul Tapes?
I got an idea for Soul Tape, but I'm not gonna spill it, because in this era, people don't like. If it ain't ready now, you might as well don't even speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm gonna say is that I got a little idea how to bring it back.
All right,
that's it.
So a lot of people asking for that. They asking for that.
But Shootout too, people. I never did like press because they was mixtapes before, but like Summertime Shootout, people was always asking, why is it coming out in the wintertime? Why is it came out in the fall or the winter when it's, you know, summertime? But it wasn't really just about the summertime. It was really more like you recapping your summer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or say like you in September and like, yo, that was a wild summer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I mean? So that's where the music came into play for me. It was kind of like me just really talking about the summer instead of like, you know, either rapping in the summer and talking about what's going on right now. Just now sitting back and talking about your summer or things that happen within your summer and making the music off of that. So that's what really the Summertime Shootouts came from.
Man, broke that down.
I got it. So you like the swag guy.
Yeah.
You the swag guy.
Yeah.
So man, when you put your pen up, like what's the next step? I would think that it would be like fashion designing or something like that. Like what I know, like with your cover art, you really into art.
Yeah.
So like
I low key went to art school for high school. I ain't finished it. I became another different kind of artist, but
right.
that's where my art, I guess I would say, comes from. You know what I'm saying? And I went to school for art, and you know my moms had pushed me into art, and I at the time too, I ain't gonna even lie, it wasn't even like cool to like say you was like you draw, like you know what I'm saying, or you know what I mean. I lived in the hood, I'm in the projects, and you know what I mean. I mean, it was so unorthodox and not cool that like I went to school one time in my man's sister who lived in my building. I never knew she was an artist or knew how to draw. And when we got to school, I seen her in the school, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing here? And she's like, I go here. And I'm like, what? You draw? I done known this girl for 15, 16 years. I ain't never seen her draw, and she ain't never seen me draw. So that's how but now, you know, art and doing that, it's you know what I mean? You got the power of the internet, and so everything is social, so it's a cool thing now. And it's cool to just express yourself in many different ways, but then, you know, coming up in that time. So that's why I like even encourage people now, like if they got something in them, like don't be discouraged or don't, you know, shy to yourself about it, you know what I'm saying? Because all of those things was like things that nobody, like you wanted to keep to yourself. And you could have ended up being a big artist. I could have ended up, you know, completely going a different whole path, you know what I'm saying? Not to say I didn't like the path that I ended up going. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's when you got opportunities or you got a talent, you got to push that. You know what I'm saying? And other people should encourage it too. Because I remember friends around me, you know, even on the rapping side, they was like, I used to do it as a hobby, and they used to be like, nah, you nice, man. You need to really take this serious and do it. You know what I'm saying? So, as a friend or as a family member or anything, if you see, you know, somebody young with a talent, always push them and encourage them to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what same thing I would say about the art. You know what I mean?
Mike?
I gotta ask, since we talking about your fresh game. Yeah, you had an old clothing line back in the day, Rich Young.
Rich Young.
Yeah, man, what? You gonna bring that back? What's up with that?
I want to bring something else back. I think the fashion and the clothing game, like it's not the same place where it was when like you was doing like a rocker wear or like you know, those Sean Johns or whatever. So I think now you do like cool capsule pieces. You could do collabs with other brands. You could do merch. Merch is huge now. Like, you know, people love like exclusive stuff that they get that's coming from the tour. Even with the mixtapes, like Summertime Shootout 1 and 2, we started doing, that's why I first started doing merch and T-shirts and stuff. We sold shitload of T-shirts and I didn't even know that lane was there. Like, I just was like saying, hey, let's put the cover on the shirt. You know what I'm saying? And it just works. So, like, all of those kind of things are dope. And I just want to also just do creative things and help other people who are, like, you know what I mean? Other fashion designers, young artists, you know, young producers, everybody. Like, you know, I just want to, like, it's like you say, you come through the door, you see somebody coming, you hold the door open for them. And that's kind of like what I want to do for the 2020 as well.
Well, if you do some merch for this color, you know Chicago will be on.
I gotta send some over. I'm working on some stuff right now.
All right, let's do it, man. So, what can people expect from this final trilogy?
The project is relatable. It's actually speaking a lot of what I went through this summer, last summer. You know, just the energy, just the things that I was thinking and going through at the same time, but also put over vibes, like, you know what I'm saying, good vibes, not just like it's preachy or, you know what I mean, just relatable music and relatable subjects and good vibes. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the main basis of it, and it's a play. You know what I mean? It's like a play on words with like. The subtitle is Coldest Summer Ever. So cold and summer usually don't even go together, but you know,
Chicago technically.
Yeah. y'all might catch it here and there, but you know what I mean? But for the most part, everybody look at summer as a warm season and some more, but sometimes there's things that could change it. You could feel cold in the summer if things ain't going your way, or you know, I remember I did a song with Dave East and it was called Summertime Sadness. And one of his things that he started his verse with was remembering that his cousin died in the summer. So that was like, a reason that summer wasn't a good summer for him, because he's always gonna remember that as a summertime moment too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. And I believe in life, good and bad. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the joy with the pain. You got to take the sunshine with the rain. And that's those. It's when it's raining, is you got to be able to weather the storm to get back to the sunshine. And that's kind of what the project is based on.
Oh, Mike.
I got one last OG question. I've been a fan of yours since you was Fabolous Sport back in the day, right? When are we ever gonna get the Paul Kane Fabolous collabo joint for the OG fans,
my
man?
boy Kane, man, Kane got so much music that he be just sitting on. I know y'all all know somebody that it's like they rap for themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love, Kane. I always push him to work. I always push him to do stuff, but he just, He liked to make music, but at his speed and at his time. You know what I'm saying? But
I get it.
I'm always open to work with. You know what I mean? And Joe, all the guys from that
Desert
time.
Storm?
Joe Budden is. On his podcast mode. I think he say he retired right now. You know what I mean?
I think you can pull him out of that, though.
I gotta come at him. Maybe I come at him in a verse that you know what I mean? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Q.
That question.
Yeah.
What was your So like this past year, Nip.
Mm-hmm.
What was your relationship like? And then after the death, like how did you see like the culture shift after his death?
His death hit hard, man. It was really shocking. You know what I mean? It still hit me like every once in a while. Like, damn, I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them kind of things. But on a deeper side too, like it's. Seeing I bump into Lauren and his kids. When you see that too, that's another thing that sours the moment too, because you never want to see that happen to anybody that you even personally know, but especially their families. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On that side, our relationship really was just a cool one, man. Like he would even hit me up on some deal, man. Them kicks is cold, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just one of them kind of things. He would DM me and say. That and one time he came by my stew in Jersey and just kicked it, like, you know what I mean. I kind of not really regret, I don't know if that's the right word, but I would say for now, just for lack of better words, I regret that we didn't record that night, but we kicked it and we just had such a good bond and kicking it that night, like, you know what I'm saying, playing music and stuff like that I was satisfied at that night. After he passed, of course, I regretted. I'm like, damn, we should have, went in the booth and did something that night. You know what I'm saying? But, he was a good dude. You know what I mean? Solid all the way around. You know what I mean? It also makes you, also made me realize, some of the things that are important too. You know what I mean? Not saying that anybody doesn't, but like at the same time, like, you see. We lost a Nipsey, like, was an important figure in our culture, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think everybody was completely in honor of that at the time, you know what I mean? Not saying that it was not respect there, but I don't think that we valued, sometimes you don't value something until it's lost, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I took from that too.
Yeah, that was a super tough loss, and I mean, just like Nip was close to you, I lost my father probably like 2 months ago. He lost his father a month ago. So I know exactly how you feel right now. Times that you wish you could just do something. So
and it'll hit you in different moments. Like, you know what I mean? You be doing something and then be like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just cuts you like that. So it's definitely something that you even gotta go through and grieve through as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't take the loss of a person and think like it's really at that time, but it's still a carry through. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. All right, man. So, I don't want to get.
I don't
even want to get out. And we definitely running the track, but I'm gonna do something out of the ordinary. I'm gonna run it back and play again. So we gonna go up right here. Let's just do it. I know I might get in trouble for this, but I don't care. So.
You can't get in trouble, Rod.
Yeah, you can't.
They love you over
keep
there.
hearing that, but it might happen. So let's do this. Let's run this again. So we're gonna run bombs again. I played Choosy. It's on right now.
One more time.
I know y'all want to hear it again. I know y'all do. Fab is in the building right now. Fab, what's up? Hey, this bombs got the city going crazy. You already know that's that Bulls anthem.
Bro, that anthem was so crazy, man. Like, I don't think there's any other like team in sports that really had like a anthem that you was waiting to hear this for their intro. Like the lights go out. The only thing that I even can compare in these intros is like when you watch wrestling and like that's part of their like, you know what I'm saying? They hype you up, it hype the crowd up, but like nobody in basketball or any other sport I've seen like have like
that anthem is something serious. Like you got to go out and get buckets. If you don't get buckets after that, you might as well just go to export.
Yeah, and the squad was crazy too. So it was like you had the intro, and then it like fit the squad. Like I don't know how they paired that together because you can't have that intro and then y'all come out there and be sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like it just don't go together. You know what I'm saying?
And Tony Kukoc coming off the bench smacking threes. But hey, now so look, I asked this off air. What can people expect from this project dropping next Friday?
Oh, man, they could expect some good vibes, man. They're going to catch these vibes. I got a lot of different ranges. I got even, some personal stuff that I was talking about on the project as well that I think people will relate to. I think people will take heed to, or people will take as a gem. Yeah. Of course, I got the bars for them. Of course, I got some captions for them.
IG about to go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely some captions in there. It's definitely keep your phone out. It's definitely some captions in there. So, just overall, like, and also working with some of the new energy. Josh is on that joint, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Chicago on there, matter of fact. Jeremiah on that joint. Dirk is on there. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of Shy influence on the project as well.
Oh, yeah. Chicago going to be super happy.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, bro, I appreciate you coming through. I know you got to get up out of here. Yeah. Them bottles for you.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday. I know the birthday is going on for the rest of the year. I'm going to say the year.
Like Diddy, you know what I'm saying? The fur coat.
Hey, we're going to have all this footage up so y'all can see it.
Every man need that moment in his life where he like...
I got two phones, so I'm going to just put my two phones up. Oh, my bad, Leo. Hey, so, man, run the social media for everybody so they can follow you.
Oh, yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at My Fabolous Life. MyFabolous LIFE. Yeah, I know how to spell that. That was kind of.
I know you spelled it. I bet it was somebody in the comments saying it too, like FABOLO.
Yeah, somebody. I slowed it down for him. You know what the crazy part? I just did a joint with Tory Lanez, and his project was like based on like 2000s joints and stuff. And he was like, when I did the joint for him, he like, yo, man, before you come on, I need you to do the FABO. I'm like, you serious? He like, yo, I'm dead ass. Like, dead ass got to do, like, you know what I mean, the spelling. So I was like, all right, I did it for him and everything, though.
Well, you got to do it again, and you gotta announce this track, man. Bombs.
All right.
Let's do it.
You already know, man. Shot-Town, it's the FABOLOUS. It's Bombs right here on Power 92. Let's go, High Rock.
Power 92, 92.3 FM.